Hello everyone. Right off the bat, I want to make it clear that this video, I know for sure is not educational. But, a big part of sex is the cultural aspect. It's not all just scientific. I think it's fun that we can all laugh at stuff like this. So, don't take it too seriously. This was cut from a Patreon stream, and I thought it would make a good Corretta video. So, enjoy. Maybe that'll work, maybe it won't. But basically, I found a list that this person on Tumblr made. I haven't read through it at all. I don't know how bad it is or how good it is, depending on your position. But it's basically somebody has made their headcanons for everybody in Star Wars penis size. And I just absolutely love this idea. The Star Wars penis headcanon master list by popular demand, apparently. Baz. Who is Baz? This guy, the Rogue One guy. Now this person thinks staunch. I'm thinking stocky, yes. He's got a stocky dick. Now I think what that means is this guy has got some girth on him. Now, I disagree. I completely disagree. This guy doesn't really give me the energy. I don't know what it is about him. Normally I'm all for yeah, they got big dick energy. This guy, I don't know. Maybe it's just this picture. You can guess somebody's big dick energy by the way they dress and the way they present themselves. And this guy's kind of a stereotypical badass, sure. But the big dick energy, there's always an element of subversion to it, right? There has to be some kind of the guys who have big dicks aren't overly showy. They're not overly bulky or masculine, even muscular. There's always some kind of, you wouldn't expect it, right? Old dick energy? Yeah, that's more accurate, which those aren't mutually exclusive. You can have old dick and big dick energy. This guy's just, I don't see it. He's definitely not a girthy guy. Maybe he's got a bit more in length, like a 6, but he's not a thick. You know what I mean? I disagree with this. L take. Chewbacca. Not that you'd know because his hair is so long and soft and smooth, but it's hiding a really ginormous dick. Easily the biggest in all of Star Wars. Chewie's very humble about it though. He's had a rough life and doesn't need to get into pissing contests with people. Let the Wookiee live. This person doesn't even know who Chewbacca is. He's very humble, not getting into pissing contests. Did you see the original trilogy? Chewbacca was let the Wookiee win and all that. He's definitely getting into pissing contests. So that's why, if he had a big dick, I think we would know about it. And for those reasons, I'm out. For that reason, Chewbacca is also dead average. Because if he had a big one, he'd be letting you know. You feel like the Chewie take here is biased towards a specific fantasy? Honestly, yeah, that's a really good take. I think this person is maybe just a furry and really wants Chewbacca to have a big dick. I mean, these are headcanons, but you have to take into account things like behavior, which this person is, but it's totally off. It's totally off. It's totally incorrect. No. Chewbacca's average, and that's the end of the discussion. Finn. Okay, let's not lean into the stereotype of the, he's black, but if you've seen my video on dick size stereotypes, that doesn't really mean a lot and is kind of a fallacy. Finn. Finn strikes me as a shower, not a grower, and he's got nothing to be ashamed of in terms of what he has to show. To be honest, I'd argue probably the most aesthetically pleasing dick in all of Star Wars, good proportion to the rest of his torso. Now keep in mind, this is a real actor, which makes it a little more weird that we're theorizing about a real guy. But I agree with this one. This is the first one that I agree with. I don't know if Grievous is on this list. He might be. I haven't really looked yet. Finn, this is actually kind of spot on. You disagree? No. I totally agree. Finn's not... Big dick is rare. Remember what we've learned, people. Big dick is genuinely rare, like a really big one. So I don't think Finn... I really don't think he would, but I agree that his would be aesthetically pleasing. he's got that kind of attitude where he probably would take really good care of himself. He's very well groomed. You know, he takes care of his hygiene. He looks really good. He's one of the most attractive people in Star Wars, in my opinion. Like, in terms of how attractive someone is, he's really good looking. And I think, yeah, it would just be well kept. You know what I mean? I think we can at least agree on that. Yeah, what do you guys think? Finn? The character of Finn, not John Boyega, the actor. The character of Finn, he would be somewhat average, but it would be really nice looking. Soldiers must take care? I thought you were going to say good soldiers follow orders. I don't know if the clones are on here, but they'd all be the same, right? Now, Admiral Akbar. His is probably like the fish creature in The Shape of Water, where it's like hidden and only pops out when he's getting ready to get down. Scientifically, yeah, that checks out. Honestly, Admiral Akbar's probably got some kind of condition where it was big at one point, but he's been sitting in that chair too many hours of the day, and it kind of causes that, like, turtle. It doesn't, like, it shrinks down because he's sitting down so much. Admiral Akbar's got a condition where because he's been sitting down, his dick is like, you know what I mean? I don't know, I haven't done the science on that yet, but I feel like Admiral Akbar, maybe it was big at one time, but he's lost a little bit of it. It's not as aesthetically pleasing, let's say that. That's what I think. Cassian? Okay, this person thinks Cassian's pretty average, gets the job well done, and fills you up. God damn it, I didn't see that before. I get the feeling that it's one of the ones that really shows the blood flow. Who's that? Who's Cassian? Cassian is the guy in the Andor show. Really good show, by the way. Now, if you haven't seen Andor, really good show. This is like the best show. This is the best that Star Wars will ever be. It's all downhill from here. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the blood flow. Cassian, I feel like, would be kind of big dick energy. I feel like Cassian, the character, not the actor, the character, is got like a 6.5. You know what I mean? It's big. It's not like scaringly big, but it is pretty big. Because it just seems like he's not that bulky. He's a little bit shorter, but I feel like he's got like a 6.5. He's got, maybe I'm thinking because he kind of looks like Moist Critical, who's got like 6.5, if I remember correctly. No, I feel like he's pretty good. He's pretty well endowed. But the guy who has the biggest dick in the Andor show is that one kid. For some reason, like every 3 episodes, this guy's with a different girl. And it's not really clear as to why, but he just kind of is. And I feel like he's got to have something to be attracting all these girls. Because he's kind of like a wet blanket type in the beginning, especially. And he has a nice character arc. Spoilers, I guess. But, nah, he's got big dick. Older content? The dick size stereotypes content isn't that old. That one's pretty new. But yeah, no. Andor's got a 6.5. This guy's got like an 8.5. Like, and it's girthy too. Do you think the Force could affect dick size? I think it's an ability that some would consider to be unnatural. I don't think Anakin turned to the dark side to save Padme. I think he was just kind of wondering, low-key, if I turn to the dark side, can I make my dick a little girthier? You could, I guess that's true. You could force blood flow, but that wouldn't make it bigger. The Force could probably help with ED, but it couldn't actually make it bigger. These are the real questions that we need to be talking about. Palpatine probably was like, you know what? Darth Vader suit version 1, I won't give you a bigger dick. You need to level up if you want me to do that. Do you think Palpatine, when Palpatine made the Darth Vader suit, he had to give him a dick, right? Did Palpatine measure him before he got in the lava to see what his dick size was because he knew he was going to make him a suit? No. Blue, I don't think. I'm staunchly in the position in the camp that the Force cannot add size because you'd have to shapeshift your body, and we haven't really seen that in Star Wars. Although in Disney Star Wars, they just break all the fucking rules, so who knows? Didn't Anakin make phantom limbs in a comic? Did he? That's some Legends bullshit that I don't I don't have time to get into. Okay, Echoes, but you understand that you can use the Force to jelk, but jelking doesn't work. Not to bring up another one of my videos, but no, jelking doesn't work, and it's just gonna tear. No, you guys, adding stiffness doesn't make it 1 inch bigger. I imagine if it was possible, it would have been done already. Granted, Jedi aren't really the type. There'd be some Jedi out there that would be like, you know what, I'm gonna try. Across Star Wars media, I'm sure somebody's tried. Wedge Antilles, who's this? Wedge, darling Wedge. I don't think his penis is very big. I don't think he cares though, because his concern is bringing the Empire down, which is probably the right way to handle the toxic masculinity surrounding the conversations of penis size. He doesn't look like a big dick kind of guy. Do I really need to pull up a picture of Wedge? Is this a main character? Okay, it's a JPEG, so I can pull it up fairly quickly. I don't know. I think I agree with the writer that it's probably not that big. It might be long. I don't remember how tall Wedge is, but if he's tall, then he might be kind of lanky. He might have a skinny penis. Wedge looks below average. I think it could be long, but thin. He just kind of has that look to him, you know what I mean? Not so thin that it's like dysfunctional, or he could crush it. Thin enough to where a girl might stop him and be like, or a guy, do we know Wedge's sexuality? Is that canon? It would be enough for them to be like, yeah, you're a little thin, but I can make it work. Now the fun one, Jar Jar Binks. All right. Let's be clear about one thing. You all kept bringing up Jar Jar. I didn't ask for this, you did. Without further ado, Jar Jar is probably the most capable of pleasuring his partner of any character in the Star Wars canon. Have you seen that tongue? Dicks are great and all, and I'll get to his in a second, but we all know that tongues are where it's at, and Jar Jar's is long and strong. 2, he has a huge dick. Like, not so big that it's terrifying to fuck, but just the right size that it'll do you right for hours on end. Okay? Jar Jar Binks, the Casanova of Star Wars. Do I still have the thumbnail in here? No, I don't. I have this, though. Jar Jar... I think Jar Jar's got a big dick, sure, but he's got a very specific size. No, not size, sorry. He's got a very specific shape. It's like... It's big, but it's also... How do I say it? It bulges near the top. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like there's not a lot of fat there. It's very veiny and sturdy and long and girthy, but the girth is bunched up near the top. I think that's what I'm getting for Jar Jar. Yes, he has a long tongue, and that is more important, arguably, when it comes to sex, what that tongue do. So, yeah, Jar Jar's got some good points. Ketsu says Jar Jar probably doesn't have the length due to his height, but probably girth. I don't know, I would argue he's got the length too. I'm not saying like crazy girth. His shoulders are not that wide. He doesn't have the right body frame for a girthy dick. But sometimes sometimes girth can be a curveball. You never know. Poe Dameron. Slightly above average length when erect, a grower not a shower. Honestly, not much to analyze here, but I think that's probably true. Poe's probably slightly above average. He's very cocky, but about the mission. He's never cocky about like, oh, I'm so handsome. You know what I mean? No, I think this is pretty much spot on. You don't know most of these guys? Noob, Beta. Some of these guys are a little farther out there. Count Dooku, a full 8. Count Dooku is the type to definitely not brag about it. He's kind of older, so maybe the size is decreased a little bit to like 7.8. I would say 7 is more of a more realistic bet for him, honestly. Because when you get to like 8 territory, that's when you're getting to scary big. Boba Fett has a mirror image of his dad's. Yep, makes sense. Jango Fett, huge and veiny, like almost disconcertingly veiny. Now I think Jango Fett, behind Finn, has the second most aesthetically pleasing dick in all of Star Wars, because he's a clone. He's the original clone. And they definitely picked somebody who was probably hung, like, he might be like an 8-inch Jango Fett. Because you want to pick a guy who's going to be able to spread his genetic code after the war is over. Clones need to be useful for something when the war is over, right? So yeah, I think it would be big, like 8 inches or so. But I don't know about disconcertingly veiny. Veiny can be scary. You know what I mean? Can anybody confirm that in the chat? Is veiny scary? Bib Fortuna. Now, who the hell is that? This motherfucker. Now, okay. This is gross. This guy's just straight up not vibing right now. Did you know that weird thing that extends from his head and sort of wraps around his neck before disappearing into his robe? That's actually his penis. Well, then he's hung. But also, ew. He definitely has to have good hygiene if that thing's wrapping around your neck the whole time. But it's not the right shape. It's big, but you can't use it effectively. Whether you want to believe that that's actually his penis or his penis is shaped like that, where it thins out like a tail, that's not very effective. Saw Gerrera. Solid 8, but not super thick. No. Saw's got a dick that's like short. It's like a 4, but it's like 6 inches around. You know what I mean? He's very short, but girthy. Maybe that's because I'm thinking of his name. It's like a short name, but it's a powerful Saw, which is why I think he's short but girthy. Jabba the Hutt. People have been telling me that in Legends, they say that Hutts are hermaphroditic and can F themselves. I personally think that Jabba is the penis. That's an interesting theory. Well, Jabba's definitely male, yeah. If they're hermaphrodites, then Jabba's got nothing going on down there. He's always sitting on it, so no. And I think Han would make fun of him for it if he wasn't trying to kill him, so no. Hux? Okay. What do they say? Hux is long but thin. I don't really think he's good at using it, to be honest, because he's definitely not giving a lover. So even if he's proud of his length, he's got a lot of work to do. Hux is thin. He is maybe overcompensating. Hi, mods. Hux is probably overcompensating for his dick. Janking the Jabba. Ugh, god damn it. It's not that he's small. He is thin, though. He can't even be long and thin. He's just average and slightly thin. Just small enough to be considered slightly below average. But no, hope is not lost. He can still function with it. But he's the kind of guy to really get on like the forums and say, fuck women, fuck the Twi'leks, they don't want to sleep with me. Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's dick is massive, like bigger than just about any other humans on this list, I think, though not as big as Chewie's. Now, Chewie is average, but Qui-Gon, here's the thing about Qui-Gon's dick. Qui-Gon's dick doesn't look that big, but when you hold it, it feels really heavy. He's probably just slightly bigger than normal, but there's something about his penis that is very dense, you know what I mean? That makes it very heavy and very fun to play with. Now, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan gets the most giving and communicative lover in all of Star Wars award. I think that's true. That's definitely an agree there. His dick is pretty average, like probably on the small side, but oh man, do you not notice that if you're in the sack with him? Yeah. Now, I think Obi-Wan is like 6. Definitely on a little bit bigger side, but he doesn't have to use his dick ever during sex. He's better at everything else. I think when Obi-Wan's in bed with a girl, they never even get to the part where he whips out his dick. She's already finished. That's how good he is. He's on like that mythical status of just how good he is at communication. Krennic? Krennic is Ben Mendelsohn, if you just need to get a face for it. He's also in a position of power. He's one of the more scarier. He's like Hux, but actually terrifying, kind of. And intimidating. True story. Krennic's dick is disconcertingly similar to Anakin's pre-Mustafar. That might be why they butt heads as much as they do. Are you saying they've seen each other's dicks? Because that's a little weird, I gotta be honest. Krennic for me... Krennic's isn't small, but it's very not well kept. Krennic cares about his outward appearance, The skinny guy in Rogue One? Yeah, pretty much. He's the villain of Rogue One. The main antagonist of that film, pretty much. No, excuse me, I just burped. But I think Krennic is... Underneath Krennic's very smooth appearance, his dick has got like some crotch rot on it because he doesn't take care of it. He probably like overly shaves it and is sore and red down there. He shaves too much. Darth Maul. Red and black and has tiny, tiny thorns. Maul's dick, like the rest of him, is highly flexible. Darth Maul, yeah, it's probably average, and I think you're right that it does have horns. For some reason, this one just isn't really big in what I'm picturing it in my mind. It's kind of on the smaller side. He's usually pretty angry. I think Darth Maul got a look at Obi-Wan's slight bulge when he was on top of him, looking down the reactor or whatever thing in The Phantom Menace. And I think he saw his bulge, and that's why he actually hates Obi-Wan. Horns do sound painful, but I think if he finds somebody within his own species or race or whatever, I think it could be really good. Because I imagine whatever his race or species is, the vagina of that species is probably really malleable to be able to take horns, and very tough, but in a good way. And I think it could be like extreme ribbed condoms. Right, he did lose his lower half. That is true. Bail Organa, I'm just going through the people that I know. Let's just say his wife is a lucky woman because her man has a decently sized penis, but also is nearly at Obi-Wan levels of givingness. Yeah, he's definitely got that charm to him. Bail is probably the exact same size as Obi-Wan, and that's why they could probably vibe together. And he's a charmer. Bail is just a charmer. Palpatine, shriveled worm, yep. Palpatine's small dick. Now, Chancellor Palpatine was really big. He had like a 9, like he was huge. But Palpatine got shriveled up and now it's like a 3.5. Okay, Anakin. Let's be real here, his dick was probably pretty good. Like average goodness. Not too big, not too small, not too thick, not too thin, a balance in the Force, if you will. Probably got burned off on Mustafar. Yeah, probably did get burned off. But I think that's a really good way to look at it. Bring balance to the Force by having a really good sized dick, and it's just perfectly average. I don't think Padme's standards are too high. I mean, she wouldn't take any Joe Schmo. I know in the Clone Wars, Padme had probably some big dick boyfriend in that one episode, or arc of the Clone Wars, I guess, but Anakin's is probably pretty good. Luke, he comes from the Obi-Wan school of being a very giving lover. He's blessed with a good dick, but he's using it in the way dicks were meant to be used. I feel like Luke just never got to use his dick, is the problem. Luke's got like a 6. It's fine. I mean, 6 is good. I caught myself there. No, 6 is still above average, but it's not monster level. But the way he uses it, if he got to use it, is probably pretty good. He's not as good as Obi-Wan when it comes to putting the charm on somebody, but he's getting there. He's really getting there. It's about the size of a womp rat. Ben Solo. Now, Ben Solo's, this is basically, I'm cracking up looking at this. This is basically exactly what Kylo Ren's dick looks like. Very small head, but the body of it is like, and it's very strong. It's a strong penis. And I feel like he would kind of show it off. He'd walk into a meeting and Hux would be, and he would be naked. And he'd be like, whoops, oops. And then he'd turn around and smack Hux in the face with his giant dick. He just walks in like, hey, whoops, I forgot my towel. Now Han Solo, good and girthy, not the longest in the universe, but good solid girth work there. So basically average. I feel like Han Solo is basically average. That might be controversial to say, but no, I think he's just average and he kind of knows it. Tarkin. Tarkin's dick is tiny. Just because he's in a position of power? No, you know what? I'm gonna disagree. I think Tarkin is actually pretty big. So, no, I think Tarkin is actually like 7 inches, but he's not girthy. He's average girth. Now, Mace Windu, here we go. Mace Windu is good and long and thick. Like his lightsaber, it's purple when it's activated. Hell yeah, dog. Now, Mace Windu is good and long and thick, and it's also aesthetically pleasing. Mace Windu takes pride in his dick. It's like a 7.5 and a 5.5 girth. Not so big where you couldn't do a blowjob, just big enough. And it is purple. The head turns purple. How does Schwartz do that? When I say that, I mean it's just like the head turns purple, kind of. Maybe there's a big purple vein on the top of it. That's what they mean. He's got very fast erections. Like a lightsaber, like that fast. That's how fast Mace Windu can whip it out. No, Mace is good. He's shown it off once or twice. Not in Jedi Council meetings, but, you know, here and there. He's kind of dropped the odd comment like, gotta go. Oh, I gotta adjust my pants, guys. Sorry, let me turn around. Ooh, Yoda. Listen, Yoda is small, so let's not make he's got a small dick joke because it's cheap. His dick is proportional to the rest of him, and for his species, that's doing pretty good. You've seen the dude fight with a lightsaber. Do you really think he's not capable of working it? I agree. Yoda's got an average dick, but it's very veiny and wrinkly. But he's quick with it. He really knows how to use it. He's small in comparison to most of these other characters, but he knows how to make it feel big. Size matters not. You know what I mean? No, Yoda's big. Mace Windu be like, sorry Anakin, you can't be a full Jedi because your pee-pee is too small, unlike me. You will have gained my trust when you gain an inch. Now this guy, this is definitely a case of his dick does look like that, unfortunately. But some girls are into it, I think. Or guys, whoever. Oh, we already talked about Anakin. But Kaladi Mundi, he's got the biggest girth of anybody in Star Wars. It's like, he's got like a 6, but his girth is like holding a wine bottle.